Whoops, accidentally stopped the recording. Oh shoot, I was supposed to mute, not stop the recording. Well, I'll just connect the two. Dang it, I really don't want to edit the two together. That's gonna be a lot of work. I'll just do part one, part two, because I just say an accident. I'm gonna keep drinking though. Okay, continuing on. All the humans in this world are basically dead at the moment. It is inevitable that there will be survivors like us. Anything can happen in the last days. We also bring lively, cute, and sickly daughters. We must bring a modern amount of weapons. With that said, Sume dragged two portable missile launchers into the polar car, a box of grenades, two sniper rifles, two shotguns, two submachine guns, as well as the corresponding no ammunition. Dang it! It seems like all things are going wrong with this specific video. Give me a second. Let me try and figure out what's going on with the internet situation. That is unfortunate. Looks like we're back and everything's fine. So let's continue on. Man, even reading becomes tiring. We'll quickly refresh the page and very odd. Got the page, but it can't thing. Why are both these advertising so bright? I mean, it's still pretty bright. I like the old advertising. Man, the advertising is just there. We go. That's at least a nicer color. Oh, yep. Don't read that part yet. Not bad. Although it can't be called the right amount, but these light weapons are okay for the load of the polar car. We must drive a military train to go out, but it also has a lot of face, the girl said relaxedly. Actually, I don't count FPS games. Hard work if it feels good, I might be able to finish this game. Sume said this and continued to move the mouse down. Because the basic atmosphere of this game is a bit depressing. The father who brought his daughter to survive in the desperate ice and snow apocalypse, so Sume subconsciously used a more relaxed and cheerful tone to neutralize this atmosphere. And here's a fun scene, kind of dark, really fun. Until the girl turned to the last column of the material reserve in the shelter of the nuclear power plant, she saw the freezer, one after another. The freezer boxes labeled with their names, like coldly in the material storage column of the nuclear power plant showed, row after row after row after row. Man, I feel like I'm like ancient Greece trying to read sentences without punctuation, but instead it's bad grammar. Sume was a little silent. She bit her lip gently. Everyone's sorry. I would love to go take a look. In this way, Sume manipulates the character through the item index instead of the one-click transport service that the game can choose to optimize um, the experience. If one transport one item, you may only need to wait for a basic quantitative reading. It's the same if you want to carry the nuclear weapons into a car. But now Sume's character is running toward the location of those freezer boxes. There's a huge ice storehouse, and the character must change into winter clothes to walk in. There are rows of tall and cold iron racks. Frozen white refrigerator-like freezer boxes are placed there. The freezer boxes are written with the names of the residents inside, the date of their births and death, and the cause of death. Lee XX. Born in XXX, died in XXX. Cause of death, cold caused physical disability. Zhao XX. Was born at XXX, died at XXX. Cause of death, the protective mask was broken and he died of suffocation. Qi, cause of death, a mechanical failure, died on the way to danger. Ye, the cause of death, suicide. Ancient, the cause of death, suicide. Thanks, the cause of death, suicide. Dot, 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 dot. Sume walked through the row of cold coffins, realizing that these people had lived in this huge refuge just like their own characters. Among the initial causes of death, most of them were caused due to fighting against this end of life. This is a work-related injury, but later the cause of death became more singular. Even in a few years, hundreds of consecutive deaths were caused by uniform suicides. After all, with the gradual freezing of the sea, nuclear power plants have been proven unable to operate forever. Facing such desperate circumstances, more and more people have lost their hope of life. At least suicide can choose one's own way of death. Sume bit her lip and let out a cold breath gently. Everyone, that's why I chose this game. That's the game which can tell us what the cold end is. Not a world where we can do whatever we want as long as we drive a car and carry a gun. Hmm. And then I think it's here where people really started to feel a lot of the readers started to feel this isn't your average drama novel. This isn't your average science fiction novel. And this is like one of the reasons why this novel was so spectacular, or just so different than what the current science fiction offerings are. To be honest, though, the more traditional literature, that doesn't apply. But for online literature, this is pretty amazing. And so yeah, that's the end of chapter 39. That was a very interesting quote. I wanted to share that with everyone, or section. I wanted to share that with everyone. Okay, I think the next one's going to be chapter 41, but I don't think so. It's not a very good description. Um, 42 is interesting because there's an interesting scene, but I'm kind of running out of energy here. 43 is more drama, which I might skip over. Um, but I'm definitely going to be doing chapter 44. I think I'm just going to skip directly to chapter 44. I'm going to very quickly skim through all of it and go to directly to chapter 44. And I'll definitely probably do chapter 45 just because there's a nice dog food scene there. Man, it's so tiring. A lot of work. You got to just do it one by one. Chapter 49. Yeah, so probably 44, 45, and maybe 45. I'll be making the decision in a little bit. Yeah, yeah. So, but it's highly likely I'll probably go to 44 and 45. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me throughout chapter 39.